Good morning, students. Today we are going to proceed next chapter 1.3, page number 8. It is a English poem in time of silver rain. Now, yes, right now monsoon season is only going on and how we are enjoying. Now in the lockdown period, of course, we cannot enjoy this season, but every year we are enjoying this season. You are knowing that what is about monsoon. A monsoon is a traditionally a seasonal reversing wind accompanied by corresponding changes in precipitation, and it is now used to describe seasonal changes in atmospheric circulation, precipitation, and generally this season gives a lot relief through its natural and cool rainwater. All the ponds, rivers and streams become full of water which was dried due to heat. All living things enjoy rainy season by getting wet into the rainwater, and this rainy season adds scenic beauty to the nature. So everyone likes this rainy season. Now this in time of silver rain, this poem is written by Langston Hughes, who was an American writer and activist who won many awards and honors for his work. He started a new style of writing poetry in which rhythm and spontaneous expressions are important. Now in this poem, he describes how rain brings joy and life. So first I am going to recite the poem for you. In time of silver rain. In time of silver rain, the earth puts forth new life again. Green grasses grow and flowers lift their heads, and over all the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings to catch a rainbow cry, and trees put forth new leaves to sing in joy beneath the sky. As down the roadway passing, boys and girls go singing too in time of silver rain, when spring and life are new. Langston Hughes. Now, see the first stanza of the poem. In time of silver rain, the earth puts forth new life again. Green grasses grow and flowers lift their heads, and all over the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. Now when the silver rains fall on the earth develops new life again. Green grass grow and the flowers lift their heads. The wonder of life spreads all over the plain. Now poet says, when it rain during springtime, the earth gives birth to new form of life again. The use of this word again is used to implicitly link the coming of spring with the departure of winter. So now the question is, what forms of life can be viewed every spring? Now here poet describes that in the spring, green grasses and flowers can be seen, and these grasses and flowers then function to spread a sense of wonderment all over the plains where they grow. Now Now here new word is put forth, that means develops or produce, and and lift, that means raise higher. These two words are new here. Second stanza. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings to catch a rainbow cry, and trees put forth the new leaves to sing in joy beneath the sky. Now here poet says that when the silver rain falls on the earth, butterflies lift their silk like wings to catch a rainbow, and tree produces new leaves to sing in the joy beneath under the sky. Here the poet explains this sense of wonder that we feel at the sights of grasses and flowers in the springtime. The entire stanza consists just two words repeated thrice. This is of earlier stanza, of life, of life, of life. Now here in this stanza, poet goes on elaborate on what other sights we might come across when it rains in the spring. He says that we may notice butterflies fluttering about in the hope of seeing a rainbow. We may also see new leaves growing on trees, and poet takes this to a manifestation, that is action or event of joy, and that trees feel at arrival of spring. we may even see human life in addition to the natural life that poet has been describing so far in this poem, form of boys and girls passing by us on the streets and singing as they walk along. Here silken, that means like a silk, or you can say having a smooth or small or light texture, and beneath, that means directly underneath, means directly below to the sky. It means as down the roadway passing boys and girls go singing too in time of silver rain, when spring and life are new. Now here we may even see human life in addition to the natural life that poet has been describing so far in the form of boys and girls passing by us on the streets, and how they are going, they're singing as they walk along. And poet also says that we can see the grasses, flowers, butterflies, rainbows, leaves, and happy children when there is silver rain. So in the time of silver rain, spring and life both are new here. So overall, through this poem, what we can see, in the time of silver rain, the poet Langston Hughes wants to show how rain adds to the glory and the beauty of everything around us. The poet says that water droplets shine when they fall from the sky and look as if they are silver in color. So this is about the explanation of poem. Now see on page number 9, you can see the language study. Here we are going to see the figure of speech, alliteration. Now what is alliteration? When the same sound occurs at the beginning of two or more words in the same line, it is called alliteration. For example, Naina needs new notebook. You can see N everywhere, or in all four words there is N repeated. So like this examples, alliteration examples you can find out in the poem. One I can say to the green grasses grow. This is about alliteration. This is what about alliteration. And in our times in Hindi, one Hindi alliteration I know, that is चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू के चाची को चांदी के चमचे से चटनी चटाई. This is in Hindi, and this is I have given you as a, not as a part of study but as a just of enjoyment. So in English you have to find out more alliteration examples, and you can you have to write that in your notebook, right? Here in the poem lines you can see one more figure of speech, that is personification, which is not given on page 9 but it is extra which I found. So please pay attention to it. It is a figure of speech where non-living objects are described to seem like a people. For example, the leaves danced on the wind. Here leaves are not dancing, human beings are dancing. So leaves are, so here the object leaf, it is described like people, like dance. And the moon was resting in the midnight sky. Any moon, sun, they are not resting, but human beings are resting. So it is described like them. These objects are described like human beings. So was resting and dance. These two are personification speech. In the textual lines you can see in the first stanza, and flowers lift their heads. This line you can see, flowers lift heads. Like human beings heads, the flowers also can lift or move their head. This is one personification example. And you can see down, and in the second stanza, and trees put forth new leaves to sing. That is trees leaves are singing like a human being. So these are two personification example here. So you can not from the poem but another personification examples you can find out and you can write. And homework is page number 9, question 1. You have to find out the rhyming words. Question 2, read the poem. You can read the poem in front of your parents in tune. Third question also you have to write yourself. Fourth you have to write yourself. Fifth also. Question 6 also. In the question 7 they have given find out the following with the help of your teacher and internet. So your teachers are not you can ask that me in the doubt section if you need, but you can use internet to write this. And instead of teacher you can take your parents or sisters or brothers help. And here question number 8, talk about your favorite season. Instead of talking you can write down about your favorite season. And language study 9 you have to do it. Alliteration plus personification, you have to find out the examples and write. Thank you students.